Hello, everybody, and welcome to game number 116 of the 2016 Minnesota Twins Strat-O-Matic Advanced Replay. In today's game, the Twins will host the Kansas City Royals, and in today's matchup, it is Kyle Gibson against Yordano Ventura. And Kyle Gibson will take the mound, and he will face the leadoff batter, the center fielder, Paulo Orlando. 6-6. That's a fly ball to medium deep right field. That's taken care of by Max Kepler. And that's one away here in the top of the first. And we'll go to the third baseman, Cheslor Cuthbert. 3-7 against the righty. That's a ground ball to the shortstop. Jorge Polanco throws to Joe Mauer. And that's two away here in the top of the first. And here is the right fielder, Lorenzo Cain. 1-8, and that's a base hit right up the middle. So Cain will, and he would be a 1-13. They're holding him on. It's -3 that's 1-10. And he had 2 for Suzuki's arm. He'd be 1-12, but not with 2 outs. And here is Eric Hosmer. They're holding him on. They won't hit and run with 2 outs. 4-8, lefty, base hit. Cain hits second. He'd be a 15. The center field, that's a -1 as well, so that's 1-15. They won't make the third out at third base, so they will hold him at second. And here is Kendrys Morales up with 2 men on and 2 men out. 1-3. That's a fly ball to right field. That's taken care of by Kepler, and the side is retired here in the top half of the first. The Royals leave 2 and do not score. And the score going into the bottom half of the first, the Royals nothing and the Twins coming to bat. And here is the second baseman, Brian Dozier. 6-9, and he gets a hole in one. Does it have enough to get out? No, but that's a leadoff double for Dozier. And Ventura is not very happy. And here is Joe Mauer with a runner on second and nobody out. Mauer playing first base today. 6-8 lefty. And the Twins are finding the sweet spot here. And that's a single. That gets cut off. But Dozier hits third and heads home. And the Twins, just like that, are out to a 1-0 lead. And here is the right fielder, Max Kepler. 1-6. Ground ball to first base B. That means that Hosmer to Escobar, but Kepler beats it out. So Mauer and Kepler switch places. And here is Miguel Sano, the designated hitter. 6-11, that's a fly ball to left. And everybody holds their place. And that's 2 out here in the bottom of the first with the Twins leading 1-0. And here is Eddie Rosario. 6-3, right back to the box. And Ventura is a 2. If this goes through the air rating, it could get a little hairy. Oh, it won't. So now I've got to grab my handy-dandy. 2-19 probably is a good play for a pitcher. And it is. So Ventura gets to it. It was a 19. So Ventura will get to it. Throws to first. And that'll end the inning. However, the Twins draw first blood. And after 1 complete, it is the Twins 1 and the Royals nothing. And here is Salvador Perez, the catcher, leading off the top half of the second. 1-4. That's a ground ball to second base. And that's Dozier over to Mauer, and that's one away. And here's the left fielder, Alex Gordon. 5-11. And that ball is struck. Doesn't have enough to get out. 1-14. And that ball is gone. Alex Gordon has just taken Kyle Gibson deep. And this game is now tied at 1. And here is Alcides Escobar, the shortstop. 3-11, and that's a base hit for Escobar. And Mondesi's hit stats aren't great from the right side, so they will take advantage of him being a 1-15 stealer, and Escobar will take off. Here's the throw from Suzuki, 1-15, and that's a 4, and he's safe. So Escobar steals second, although ID Jester told me never run on Kurt Suzuki, but I just did. All right, so here is, now he is referred to as Adalberto Mondesi, which is actually his middle name. But here is Raul Mondesi Jr., playing second base today. 3-6, and that's a strikeout, so that's 2 away. We go back to the top of the order, and Paulo Orlando, he flied to right his first time up. 4-4, that goes to the third baseman. That is Trevor Plouffe. He is a 3. And a 16, that is in range. Yes, it is, and that's a good play. So Orlando grounds out to first, and the Royals leave a runner on second. However, the Alex Gordon solo home run ties the game at 1 going into the bottom of the second. And leading off in the bottom half of the second for the Twins is the third baseman, Trevor Plouffe. Okay. And here's the offering to Plouffe. 2-5, and that's a high pop-up to the third baseman. Cuthbert calls for it and makes the catch. And that's 1 away here in the bottom of the second. And here is the shortstop, Jorge Polanco. 4-8 against the lefty. That's only a 10% single chance. Will it get through? No, that's a 15. And that's a ground ball to the first baseman, Hosmer. He takes it to the bag himself. And that's 2 outs here in the bottom of the second in a 1-1 tie. And here is Kurt Suzuki. 4-5. And he goes down swinging. Strike 3. That's his first strikeout of the day. And the Twins go down in order here in the bottom half of the second. And the score after 2 complete, it is the Royals 1 and the Twins 1. All right, Gibson coming out. He will face Chesler Cuthbert, Lorenzo Cain, and Eric Hosmer here in the second inning. Okay. So Cuthbert to ground out his first time up. 1-7. He grounds the ball to Dozier over to first, and that's the first out of the inning. Here is Lorenzo Cain. He singled his first time up. 3-3, and that's right back to the mound. Gibson over to Mauer, and that's 2 away here in the top half of the third. And here is Eric Hosmer, the first baseman. He also singled his first time up. 3-7, not this time. Fly ball to medium deep center. Rosario has it. And the Royals go down in order here in the top half of the third. And we go to the bottom half of the third with the Twins and the Royals tied at 1. And now batting the bottom of the order here is the left fielder, Robbie Grossman. Oops. 2-2, and that's a ground ball over to Mondesi, over to Hosmer, and that's 1 away here in the bottom half of the third. That brings up Dozier. He doubled and scored his first time up. 4-7, and that's a 50-50 single chance. Will he be on the right side? Yes, he will, just barely. It squeaks through past a diving Hosmer, and Dozier is on with 1 out here in the third. Now, to tell you how good an arm Perez has, normally Dozier would be a 1-13 if without holding him on. Hosmer takes Dozier from a 1-15 to a 1-10 just by his throwing arm. So they will hold him on just to take him down to a 1-8, and so he will not be stealing. And here is Joe Mauer, the first baseman. 4-5 again. That's a fly ball to medium deep right field. That's caught by Lorenzo Cain. And that's 2 away. And here's Max Kepler with 2 outs and a runner on first in a 1-1 ball game. 3-5. And this game might not be tied for much longer. 1-16, and we have a 3-1 ball game. And we have a 3-1 ball game. That ball is high, deep, and out by the flagpole at Target Field. That ball is gone. So Kepler gets one in his wheelhouse and does not miss. So the home run by Kepler puts the Twins up 3-1. 3-6, and that's a strikeout for Sano, and that ends the inning. But Ventura gives up the gopher ball, and that allows the Twins to have a 3-1 lead. And here's Kyle Gibson. He'll face, Kendrys Morales, Salvador Perez, and Alex Gordon. And here is Morales against Kyle Gibson. 2-6, and Morales looking to get one of those runs back. 1-16, and the Royals come within 1, and that ball is high, deep, and gone. So the wind must be blowing out at Target Field tonight, as that is the 3rd home run of the game combined. And the Royals have cut the deficit to 3-2 here in the top half of the 4th. And here is Salvador Perez. 4-9, and that's a base hit to left field. So the Royals looking like they want to make a comeback here. And here is Alex Gordon. They will not hold Perez on. 2-12. And that's a ground ball to first. Nice diving stop by Mauer. His only play is to first. And they get Gordon, but Perez will move to second. So a nice diving stop by Mauer gets the out at first, but the runner at second with 1 out. And here is Alcides Escobar, single and a stolen base his first time up. 3-4, and that's a high pop-up to the shortstop. Polanco has it. That's 2 away, and here's Mondesi up with a runner in scoring position. 4-7, batting from the left-hand side, and Mondesi rips a single to center field. Perez hits third, and he will score. And just like that, the Royals have tied the game at 3. Oh, the people in Minnesota are not happy with Kyle Gibson. And here is Paulo Orlando up for the 3rd time in 4 innings. So we may look at maybe getting some bullpen help here. 3-4. And that's a ground ball right back to the mound. Over to first for the 3rd out. And that's all for the Royals here in the fourth, but they get the 2 runs right back. And your score after 3.5 is the Royals 3 and the Twins 3. Oof. And here is Eddie Rosario. Grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. 5-10. This is going to the shortstop. That's Escobar. He's a 1. That's an 18. He'll make that play. I don't even have to look. So here is Trevor Plouffe, the third baseman. Popped up to the third baseman his first time up. 1-6. And could it continue? 1-8 will be a home run. Oh, and it just missed the 8. It's a 16. That's a fly ball to left field. Doesn't quite have the distance. And here is Jorge Polanco. 4-10 against the lefty. That's a walk. So, 2-out walk here to Jorge Polanco. Puts a runner on first for Kurt Suzuki. They will not hold him on. 4-7 righty. That's a 50-50 single chance. And that's just, again, squeaks by Hosmer for a base hit. And here is Robbie Grossman with runners on first and second with 2 outs and a 3-3 ball game. 2-7, 1-19, but that would only load the bases. And that's a 17. And that would load the bases. And that brings up Brian Dozier, the leadoff hitter. And don't look like these pitchers may not be for long in this game. 5-8. That's to the second baseman. That is Mondesi. He is a 2. And a 15. That is in range, and that is a good play. So Mondesi ranges over, gets it, throws it to first, and the Twins leave them loaded here in the fourth. And your score after 4 complete is the Royals 3 and the Twins 3. And here is Kyle Gibson. Be lucky to get through 6 now. Here's Chesler Cuthbert, the third baseman, 0 for 2 on the day with 2 groundouts. 2-8, and this time he flies the ball. Center field, Rosario is under it and puts it away for the first out. And here is Lorenzo Cain. 6-7, that's a ground ball to Dozier. He is a 2. And a 5, I think that's good enough. Yes, it is. So Dozier ranges over, gets it, throws the first for the second out of the inning in a 3-3 ball game. And here is Eric Hosmer. 4-7 lefty, and that's a single right up the middle. So Hosmer is 2 for 3 on the day with 2 singles. And they will not hold him on. And here's Kendrys Morales. 1 for 2 on the day. Hit a solo home run his last time up. 3-7, he draws a walk. So Gibson tiring here in the 5th. And the Twins will get Pat Dean, who has just been recalled, loosening in the pen in case they need to get some long relief going here. And here is Salvador Perez. 3-7, that's a fly ball to center field, and that retires the side here in the 5th inning. And the Royals do not score, but I think that'll be it for Gibson. Facing 24 batters in 5 innings. Yep. So look for Pat Dean to be coming into the ball game here in the 6th inning. We'll see how long Ventura lasts. He's got a very short hook here. And they will go to maybe Chen-Ming Wang or Chris Young. maybe to try to set up for the bullpen, or maybe they'll go with Matt Strahm. I think they'll go with Matt Strahm. No, I think they'll save him for the 8th inning. All right, well, they'll decide what they're going to do later. Here is Joe Mauer to lead off the bottom of the 5th. 5-9, that's to the shortstop. And that's where balls go to die because Escobar is a 1. 16, that's a good play, so. Yep. And Mauer is out. That's the first out of the inning. And here is Max Kepler. 4-11, that's to the left fielder. That's Alex Gordon. He's a 1. So this team is very good defensively. 14, will that be enough? 14, yes it will. That is a nice running catch by Gordon. Makes the play, and that's 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th with a tie game at 3. And here is Miguel Sano. 6-8. And no. He gets a single. 1-2 would have been a triple. The rest are singles. So Sano with a 2-out single. And here is Eddie Rosario. 2-4. That's right back to the mound. Ventura gets it, throws to first, and he is done for here in the 5th. And they'll probably let him come out for the 6th, although I don't think they're going to let him go very much longer. All right, so Pat Dean will come out and face the Royals here in the 6th. They decided that he was not very effective, Kyle Gibson, although he held the Royals to 3 runs, but that's not enough. So Dean. Okay, so here's Pat Dean here in the 6th inning against Alex Gordon. Lefty-lefty matchup, 6-7. And here we go. Ripped into the gap. Does it get cut off? Yes, it does. That's a 20, so that's a single for Alex Gordon. And they will have the corners in. Ooh, do we want Escobar to bunt? Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, but with all right, well, we'll let against the lefties. Not great against lefties, so we will bring out the sacrifice bunt here. All right, so that would make him a B bunter because they're expecting it. And here is the play. Ooh, being a 3, and he beats it out. So they were expecting it, and they still couldn't do it. So Escobar beats out the bunt, and wow. So now they'll bring the corners in again, and they'll say, let's do this again with runners on first and second. And Mondesi squares around, and here's the bunt play. And that's a 7. That should be good because all the 7s are usually good. Batter is thrown out by first baseman. Runners advance. So we'll call that 3-4 for Mondesi. And both runners will move up. And the Royals have runners on second and third with 1 out. Kind of playing a little bit of National League Baseball there, but Mondesi is essentially useless against lefties. All right, and here's Paulo Orlando. If I can find here's my lead die. The Twins will play the infield in here in the top half of the 6th. With it being a tie game, yes, they will play the infield in. 6-9 to the shortstop, and this could be a venture for Polanco. He is a 4E40. 4-18. That's at least going to be in range. That is a ground ball B, and with the infield in, now, okay. Runner on third will hold. And since other base runners cannot advance, they will not. And so that means that the ground ball is handled by Polanco. He looks the runner back, throws to first, and that is 2 outs, and that is huge. And so, all right, so that keeps runners on second and third, and here's Chesler Cuthbert. 1-3, and that's a ground ball to Polanco. Throws to first, and the Twins pull a Houdini act and get out of the inning. So Pat Dean comes in, and with a little help, gets out of the inning. And the score at the bottom half of the sixth inning is still tied at 3. And here is Trevor Plouffe. They will get Brian Flynn and Joaquim Soria loosening in the pen. 3-4. Ground ball to third. Throws to first, and that's one away here in the sixth inning. And here's Jorge Polanco. 3-3. That's a fly ball to right. And that's 2 away. And here is Kurt Suzuki. 2-5. And that's a fly ball to left. And that is going to be all for Ventura. He pitched to 26 batters in 6 innings. And they will bring in, Brian Flynn come in. All right. They will have Dean. He will pitch another inning here, although they will have we'll have, no, they don't have him. Ryan Presley and Taylor Rogers loosening in the pen. So righty-lefty there. So try to get Moylan through another, or get Dean through another inning here. 3-2 against a lefty, and that's a walk for Kane. And whoops, nope, sorry, hold on. Whoops, wrong team batting. Back up. Wait a minute, on top of something. No, that's right. Sorry, didn't put the 0 in, that's why. Okay, so Kane is on with a walk. Wow, sorry, got a little confused there. Kane will be a 1-12. They're holding him on. Hosmer's an A hit and run then, so we will play the hit and run. We'll see if it's as good as the bunt attempt that we had. So here's the hit and run with Hosmer, and that's a 5 on an A. A 5 base hit. Gets through, and the third goes Kane. So the Royals trying to push all the right buttons here, and that puts runners on first and third, and the Twins will bring the infield in. And they will also make the call to Taylor Rogers. Okay, so he will now come into the game. All right, so he will face Kendrys Morales. Turn him around to the other side. 1-12, that's a deep fly, but as a shallowish fly ball to left. Grossman is a +1. Kane will be a 1-19. They'll send him, and he is safe. So Kendrys Morales comes in and hits a deep fly ball and scores the go-ahead run. And it's now a 4-3 game for the Royals. 5-11. That's to the left fielder. That's Grossman. He's a 4. And a 16. 4 and a 16 for the left fielder. That's deep. That's caught, but Hosmer will go to second as Grossman runs into the wall, and Hosmer, with good base running, goes to second. So Perez moves Hosmer to second in a unconventional method, but it gets the job done. And here's Alex Gordon, single and a home run today. 2-5 against a lefty. That's a strikeout. And that ends the inning. So the Royals go ahead 4-3. And stretch time here at Target Field. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back for it's root for the Twins. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. And now pitching for the Kansas City Royals, Brian Flynn. And the Royals hope that he will run through this like he ran through some of the programs. Oops, sorry, I know, 80s Disney movie. All right, so we'll put him here. All right, so here is Grossman facing a lefty. 4-6 against the righty. That's a ground ball to the shortstop. Alcides Escobar vacuums that up and throws it to first. And here is Brian Dozier. 3-6, and against the lefty, that's a ground ball over to Cuthbert. Over to Hosmer, and that's 2 away. And here is Joe Mauer. 3-8 against the lefty, and that's a walk. So a 2-out walk puts a runner on for Max Kepler. 3-11 against the lefty, and he digs one out of the ground. And that'll just move Mauer to second. They're not going to try on these outfield arms. And here is Miguel Sano. 4-6 against a righty. That's a ground ball to the shortstop. Escobar over to Hosmer. And that's the end of the 7th inning. Bottom of the 7th inning. The Twins threaten but do not score. And that brings us to the top of the 8th. Rogers will not come in for the 8th. We will have Ryan Presley come in, and he will pitch the 8th. Okay, so Presley will come in. 6-4, that's to the shortstop, and that could be an adventure. That's Polanco again. That's a base hit. 4-4. Yep. So leadoff single for Alcides Escobar. And 1-15, he will take off again. And that's a 12, and he is, whoops, that was a 12, and he is safe. So, second stolen base of the day for Alcides Escobar. And here is, will they let Mondesi hit, or are they going to bring in somebody else? No, they'll let Mondesi hit against a righty. 4-5. Lefty, that's a strikeout for Presley. And that's the second strikeout of the day for Mondesi. He is 1 for 3 on the day with the sacrifice bunt. And here's Paulo Orlando with a runner on second with 1 out in a 4-3 Royals lead. 5-11, that's to the right fielder. That's Kepler. He is a 2. 19, just going to make sure that's not a fly ball A. Nope, that's a fly ball B, so that will not move the runner up. So that's 2 outs here in the top half of the 8th. The Royals will have Matt Strom coming in the 8th inning. You'll see why when you see his card. All right, so Presley here, runner on second, 2 outs for Cuthbert. 6-7, that's to Dozier. He's a 2. And an 18, and that'll take care of business here in the top half of the 8th. The Royals do not score with the runner in scoring position. And after 7.5, it is the Royals 4 and the Twins 3. And we will bring in Matt Strom, another lefty. And you can see his card. In 22 innings, he allowed 13 hits. So you can see why he was fairly useful. Probably a left-handed specialist, but we're going to let him try to pitch a whole inning. So Strom will now come in the bottom half after Flynn pitched a scoreless 7th. And we will have Kelvin Herrera loosening in the pen. He is the closer since Wade Davis is out for this game. 3-9 against a lefty. Ooh, found the one bad zone in there. He goes down swinging. Everything else is a base hit except the 9. And here is Trevor Plouffe. 5-8, and that's a strikeout. And here is Jorge Polanco. 3-4 against the lefty. That's a ground ball to second. Mondesi over to Gordon, and that retires the side in order. And we go to the top half of the 9th with the Royals leading 4-3. And Presley will not be pitching this inning. They will have Michael Tonkin. Okay, well, they'll take their chances with Tonkin. Okay, so we'll have 4. Okay, so Tonkin will face Kane, Hosmer, and Morales. 3-9 against the righty. That's a ground ball to the shortstop. And Polanco up with it, throws to first, and that's the first out here in the top of the 9th. And here is Eric Hosmer. 4-3 against the lefty. That's a column you kind of want. That's to the right fielder, Kepler. 2-5. That's a good play. So Kepler makes the play in right, and that's 2 away here in the top of the 9th. And here is Kendrys Morales, the Kelvin Herrera, still loosening in the pen. 3-7 against a righty, and that's a walk. So Morales will walk. And we will have a pinch runner for Morales, and will play designated hitter if need be, and that's Billy Burns. So Billy Burns, who is a much faster runner than Morales. Okay, so don't mean to lose the bat, but I don't think we'll need it. Okay, so Burns will run. And is he an ace stealer? Hey, you know what? Well, shouldn't take the bat out of Perez's hands. 5-4. That's to the center fielder Rosario. And that's a 19, and that's a good play. And the Twins are retired, or sorry, the Royals are retired here in the top half of the ninth. And we go to the bottom half of the ninth. The Twins trail 4-3. And here comes the closer, Kelvin Herrera. Flynn and Strom have done a nice job pitching the 7th and 8th. And that brings up Kurt Suzuki to lead off. Okay, maybe we'll save one of these for the weaker hitters if we need to. All right, so here's Suzuki leading off. 2-6. And Suzuki rips one to the gap. That's a 7. And Kurt Suzuki is led off with a double. So the Twins fans are getting a little giddy here. And here is Robbie Grossman. 6-7 to the second baseman. That is Mondesi. He's a 2. And a 12, that is not in range. No, just barely. Mondesi is an E12, so he will need a 6-11. And that's a 5. And Mondesi picks it up, bobbles it, and can't recover. And so runners are on first and third with nobody out. And the Royals will bring the infield in. And that brings up Brian Dozier. The Royals will bring the infield in. 5-11, that's to the right fielder. That is Lorenzo Cain. He's a 1. 12 is not in range, I don't believe. Right field. 12 is not in range. So Cain is an E5. We'll need a 6-11, but that would tie the game. And that's an 8. He catches it. But tagging from third and scoring is Kurt Suzuki. And the Twins have tied the game at 4. And so Dozier does his job. And the Royals may be looking for other pitchers. And here is Joe Mauer. 3-7, and that's a strikeout. So 2 down here in the bottom half of the ninth. And here is Max Kepler. 4-9 against the lefty. That's a strikeout. However, the Twins, with the help of an error, add a run, and that ties the game at 4, and we're going to bonus baseball. And I'll try to go as long as I can. If the video cuts out, then I'll make sure I bring you the conclusion. All right, so here is Miguel Sano. Nope, not him. Tonkin will come out for the 10th inning. Probably not against better judgment, but I mean, I could bring out... Well, you know what? We'll let Tonkin pitch this inning, I guess. Well, hold on. And we'll let him go. 6-9, and probably shouldn't have. Fly ball, deep right field. This ball is gone. And there's that wonderful left-handed pissy result that he has against lefties. Hey, anything in the 6th column is not worth it. So here's Alcides Escobar. 1-7, that's a base hit. And we will go to Brandon... Actually, we will go to JT Chagua. He will come in and face Adalberto Mondesi. Just 1 second. Let me get the Chagua results here. Okay, so Chagua will face Mondesi. They are holding Escobar on. 1-4 against a righty. Ground ball to Mauer, over to Polanco, over to Chagua, and that's 2. So Chagua, 1 batter, gets 2 outs. Here's Paulo Orlando. 5-9 against a righty. And that's a ground ball to short. So Chagua comes in, finishes the job, but a leadoff home run by Alex Gordon gives the Royals a 5-4 lead going into the bottom of the 10th. And they won't stick with Herrera. They will actually go with Joaquim Soria, the Mexicutioner. And he will try to close out the bottom of the 10th.